I'm out of ideas for intro, guys. Like, I can't, like... With anime becoming more and more popular, studios or just animation is becoming more relevant in a more discussive way, I guess. The Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie, 1 out of 3, just released in Japan. Wait. Well, there's Google Drive for the whole movie. Nice. There wouldn't be a more appropriate time to talk about it. Of course, this is not me talking about the movie because I haven't seen it yet. I will. But it goes without saying that people, especially the normies, don't really understand animation in a individual level. The notion of animation can have different meanings most of the time. Not really. People screaming about animation because of movement, or one of those retards just saying the same thing of, "Ooh, colors! The animation!" and says that 10 more times in a reaction video. You can say animation is just more movement or with more of the aspects that makes the scene looks good. Of course, most people can't go in full detail why a scene look good. That's fine. But one studio that's always in a lot of people's mind when it comes to really good looking shows is Queen Bee. Wait, what? Oh, UFOTABLE. UFOTABLE is one of the most recognizable studios in anime. They are well known for the anime Demon Slayer and a lot of other typemoon stuff that most normies don't watch. This is not a video about the studio because I don't want to do a high priority video right now because yeah. But essentially people's opinion on UFOTABLE is massive glazing. Like massive deep throating. Now, there's nothing wrong with glazing UFOTABLE. They absolutely deserve it. Maybe beside that one money laundering thing, but they are probably the studio that blends 2D and 3D the best, and consistently they've been improving throughout the years, like with Karana Kyokai, Fate, and now Demon Slayer. You don't even need to look that deep. Just look at the first time they showed the Infinity Castle and compare it to now with Hashira Training Arc. It's a studio that tried to do something different, and now with more technology and experience in play, they can do something like this. It's not like another studio or the special edition Lore of the Mysteries Unreal Engine Siege. Sorry. They're also a studio that always have really good scheduling for their shows, besides some shows. And the recent movie says otherwise, but I'll talk about that soon maybe. This also mixed really well with another thing that they do is in-house staff reliance. They mostly do everything in-house. It can be in photography, directors, animators, etc. But of course, a difference if you compare it to like KyoAni is UFOTABLE still hires other studios for in-betweening or second key animation. Just look at the Infinity Castle movie. You have studios like Trigger, Gava Production, Asahi, 8-Bit, etc. But this is just 95% of most animes. They do the same thing. KyoAni is just the anomaly. The effects that occur in this type of debate that people have is the animation for UFOTABLE shows. It's no doubt that every UFOTABLE shows does look really fucking good. I'm not trying to downgrade... No. What's the word? Any of their shows, but people think it's some of the best shit ever. Animated shows ever. Anime is a creative medium most of the time, so there will be animes that's not gonna look normal, you can say, but it is a fact that Demon Slayer don't touch some of the best animated shows out there. It makes sense because some shows are just stacked with so many talent that of course they will look better. They mostly just don't have time. There's a lot of examples, but comparatively, the Seshimo team in MAPPA and Umihara team in Cloverworks could produce some of the best looking shit in the medium consistently. JJK Season 2 could have been the best animated show ever, but Manabu Otsuka just fucked everyone in their asses. UFOTABLE also still have freelancers that work in their projects. Recently in the movie, they had Kohei Hirata and Shinra Ohira. The studio are still open with freelancers because they don't have the biggest pool of animators. They have a couple of really standout animators in the studio that do the bulk of the action, and their wildcard, or the ace animator that people call his scene when animators forget about the budget. What? I want to kill myself. Nozomu Abe is the highlight animator and does most all of the climactic scenes or hype ones, but if he's not available, then another person will do it. Take the final episode of the Swordsmith Village arc. This scene probably would have been by Nozomu Abe, but he was busy with something else in the studio, so Kunihiro took over. And that's the point in Demon Slayer. They don't really do anything crazy for the dialogue stuff slash slice of life moments because they are managing the resources for the important stuff, the fights. Even if they have a good schedule. While in the other hand, the team that I mentioned earlier, let's just take like Wonder Egg Priority and Chainsaw Man, every scene, even if it's not action, they do it because they have the talent available to do it, even if the schedule is absolutely dog shit. What I'm basically saying is that other studios have multiple teams while UFOTable only have one main team. Kind of. That's why they're probably not even in production for Genshin Impact, because if there were other studios that like to pack so much shows at once, they would have done it, but UFOTable have their priorities probably. The reason why UFOTable shows seem to look better than it is, it's not just the animation, there's also other factors that comes to play. Let's take this example. There was a small discussion about a I'm laughing. Okay. There was a small discussion about a certain content creator criticizing the Soul Leveling anime because they didn't go all out for the Goto vs Yuji fight because it lacked the animation for it, which I can agree. But another point that he mentioned is, I think they fumbled not getting UFOTable to do this, which is a pretty dumb statement to say because Soul Leveling's fights are just way better animated compared to Demon Slayer, even the peak ones. But what does that entitle? What does this person wanted for Soul Leveling? It's mostly the aesthetics. Now, I've given Soul Leveling criticisms before. The compositing can be mediocre sometimes, or not the best. Not saying it's bad, it's mostly good. But of course, if you compare it to Demon Slayer looks better. Not talking about movement. I wanted Kentaro Waki to be the director of photography for Soul Leveling because he is one of the best composing artists in the industry, and it was possible to get him in that project because he was the composing artist for SAO, Ordinal Scale, and beyond. It's without a doubt, Waki was the main person that transformed how Alicization looked compared to the first two seasons, and that's what people see in UFOTable shows. Their shows goes heavy in the post-processing. They put more compositing layers than most animes. Yuji Terao is a god at compositing, being one of the most important person for UFOTable. I still think the Infinite Castle is one of the best looking things in a technical sense in anime, or maybe. Yeah! It really shaped what Demon Slayer is. You had the same feeling when watching Demon Slayer for the first time, how the effects just look so unique. It's very heavy compositing if you just compare it to the layout or even the Genga. And again, a lot of their shows too, but that doesn't mean that contributes to how much more it moves. Of course, there's complaints to be had, like some stuff can be just flashing lights and some scenes can be a bit too over-composited. That leads to ruining the original drawing, scratching all the detail out that the animator drew. Here, I'll give you another example. Who has better animation and who has better aesthetics? Call of the Night Season 2 or Lord of the fucking Mysteries, bruv, in it? Yeah, I can't say the C word. I don't want to put this in a objective sense since this just could be my own opinion, but Lord of Mysteries definitely have better animation, but Call of the Night Season 2 is just better at other aspects. Call of the Night's direction can feel fast, but it doesn't, if you know what I mean. Like fast, throbbing, diddling motion. A lot of unique direction. The color palette is unconventional, but it works because of the fucking director understanding how to execute these components at a cohesive level. But on the other hand, Lord of the Mysteries, yes, the art direction looks fucking amazing, but comparatively to Call of the Night, that's really it. Color palette feels very dark at times, the action direction can feel hard to follow, and the thing that makes everything seem fast is how they direct most of the stuff. They literally do the same, oh my god, so many CG camera work with loud blaring music, which is a plus, but if you want to showcase a lot of different stuff in not much runtime, you can say, it will be redundant and overstimulating at times. Takopi Episode 4, the director and storyboarder, Toya Oshima, made the episode overall more exaggerated and ambitious, but some scenes can also feel like that without the crazy animation. Just perfect visual storytelling with good storyboards and audio direction too. Perfect. Like pancakes. That sucks. I still think UFOTable is one of the best studios out there in terms of the production value that their show have, and the working conditions is one of the best in the industries. Kyoan is better though. Although again, the movie credits is messy compared to their other stuff like Heaven's Field, another trilogy movie. By them, it could be also the material for Infinite Castle is a lot more harder to adapt. That is probably a factor. Also, I got a new mic. Hopefully it sounds good. I probably need to tweak some stuff, but You guys love hearing my sexy ass voice. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what thoughts on UFOTable's episode. What? On UFOTable or Demon Slayer? And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.